So I'm curious, you started doing coach training. What inspired the Business Builder course? And what are some of the benefits people get from that course?
Yeah, I mean, the business, I think if people who are launching a business or people who are bringing in a coaching program into their organization, the mindset is similar, where it's helpful to think like an entrepreneur and it's helpful to put the pressure on yourself to pitch coaching in a way that is understandable. People like what they understand. It's enticing. People like to buy things, but they don't like being sold to. Uh, they want to know your story. They want to know. They want to know when their story is most compelling. What are the most compelling aspects of their story? There are a lot of things that I had to learn that I feel like I did naturally well from a sales or marketing standpoint. Mostly because I just taught for a while, and if you're a high school teacher, you're basically for 2 or 3 at least 3 hours, 5 hours a day. You're telling stories. You're talking. You're having to entertain middle school and high school students, especially if you're teaching them Latin, which they all have to choose to take. So I felt like I had to put on a pretty serious sales presentation to get high school students to get interested in Latin. All of that gets translated over to coaching, right? And then, again, there's this pressure to have to tell stories that make sense to people. What the business launcher is, in my mind, is it's a structure to help hold you accountable, to give you ideas and have a feedback forum in place that okay, I'm going to meet every other week and I'm going to have this is my action step for these 2 weeks. And it's a cost-effective way to have that structure. These are all things that you can find books, you can do this all yourself. It's not like there are some things in here that will save you time. Like, it's just all collected for you and all the insights are right there, and week by week you go through. But it saves you time and gives you a structure. And with that saved time and structure, you will more than get your money back in terms of clients that you're working with. If you do the work, if you follow through and do the work anyway, that you would normally have to do. I think it saves about a year. I think
Wow.
if I were to quantify how much time, it took me about 2 or 3 years to figure all of this out. And then by the time I wanted to quit teaching, go full time into coaching, Frank said, "Nope, you cannot. I need you one more year, because it's not like we can find Latin teachers don't grow on trees in Southern Oregon. So we need another year to find somebody." And they did. I gave them another year, which I'm glad, because that was our first daughter's first year of life, and so I could enjoy that without the whole pressure of launching a whole new thing. And it just gave me a whole another year to refine my marketing, my messaging, workshops, figure out, okay, wow, really do need to give these workshops. And so when we moved to Portland, which is about a 5 hour drive away, it was full time, and it was all, we were in it. I had a structure in place. I had a client base of 15 in Southern Oregon. I used to take the red eye Greyhound bus overnight down to Southern Oregon, meet my 15 clients over a space of 2 or 3 days, and take the bus back. I did that twice a month. I did that for about a year. That's how much hustle I had. And I remember when I brought that down to once a month, it just felt like amazing. I was like, and then when I didn't have to do it maybe every other month, it felt even better. And then when I had a client base in Portland, and I eventually let the client base in Southern Oregon go, I look at it now and think, I don't know if I could do that again. That was
A lot.
woo, woo. But I would come back. I'd come back, and over I don't know how familiar you are with Portland geography, but there's this bridge that goes over the river, the Umpqua Bridge. And I'd come back, and I remember a couple of times I'd be listening to my vision recording on repeat for 5 hours. I'd be listening to this thing on repeat. Just get in my head again and again and again. And it's basically music with myself talking about the goals that I have, dreams and things like this, where I want to be. And I remember coming back from a particularly good couple of days in Southern Oregon, where I really, really felt like I was changing the world. That this is real. The impact on these students' lives is unbelievably it's the coolest thing ever. These conversations, wow. And crossing that bridge, going back into Portland and thinking, this is what I've dreamt of doing. This is the life that I've dreamt of doing, getting paid for conversations that I know are having a huge impact on the lives of young people. That was, I was dreaming. And now I look at this organization, I think we're just getting started. Like this is changing so many lives. And yeah, I mean, I feel like we have decades ahead of us to enjoy this. So, yeah, I know Britt, when we talked about this, we're going to talk all about the Biz Launcher. Yes. But if you're thinking about it, Biz Launcher is great if you want the structure. And, basically I put everything into it that I did to be successful. I just tried to be as generous as I could, realizing that you never can be too generous. You can never stuff more stuff into it. It's if you're looking for, it's for people who are looking for a structure of accountability along with nuggets of insight that are interesting, that keep you going. It's basically then the Biz Launcher is for you. Yeah. How you doing, Brett? I'm just so curious. I know we designed this, and I know like in this space of business building, here we are. I'm so curious. I know we have to finish up here, but listening to all of this, what are your main thoughts, takeaways? Yeah.
I feel like the phrase respect the hustle is what comes to mind for me. That I had to like sum up this whole conversation. It's even if you don't want to start your own business, there is still a hustle involved in being a successful coach and making sure that your clients are getting to where they want to get to, and being that sort of guiding light for them. And so I feel like I love the element of like, and I think that for me, I always connect resilience to that feeling of hustle, that knowing that there's going to be setbacks, there's going to be things, again, whether you have your own business or not, that are going to push you and test you and make you question and doubt. And how do you push past that and rise above that? And it's almost like what you were just talking about with your vision recording, like what is your communication with yourself about yourself that allows you to hustle and stay resilient? I think that's the biggest takeaway that I have from hearing all of that, what we discussed today.
Yeah, that's right on. That's right on. Yeah, that vision you have for yourself has to be so strong that it's more powerful than the temporary present circumstances. And there's an element of being with the present circumstances and feeling gratitude even for hard things. I feel like that's when, and this is where I feel like the journey of entrepreneurship is a journey of personal growth, that it's not for everybody, but if it's for you, you will learn more about yourself than you ever have imagined. And it's worth it. It's worth it. And if you are hired and if you are working with an organization, adopting this mindset, you will make yourself an invaluable part of an organization. Like this is what I feel like we at Coach Training EDU talk, we try to foster this with our team, is like, yes, it's this proactive thinking. You have freedom. You have this ability to go out and do these, like, let's roll up our sleeves and let's change the world here. Let's get this done. It's that proactive thinking that it's going to change the world. So here we are. Thank you.
Love it.
Super fun.
This is always fun.
You hold an amazing space. Thank you, community, for being here, watching, listening, letting me riff on something I care a lot about. And yeah, I mean, I feel like I could go into like, things on, what makes good, useful website stuff, not useful website stuff. I feel like I have more like I want to say, but yeah, good. I'll see you next week. Thank you, Britt. Thank you, community. See you soon.